following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, accompanied by Kevin Nash, representing the Outsiders from Miami, Florida, Scott Hill. And approaching the ring, accompanied by Hollywood the Owen, representing the N.W.O. from Florida, Macho Man Randy Savage.
This is an opening match with world title implications, as we have the current World Heavyweight Champion Kevin Nash and the former World Heavyweight Champion Hollywood Hulk Hogan here on ringside for this match. There's a match between Scott Hall and Macho Man Randy Savage. Of course, the Outsiders versus the leaders of the N.W.O, the Mega Powers. As we have Randy Savage with a nice armbar, but Scott Hall able to counter, but gets pushed away by Macho Man Randy Savage. Now, Hulk Hogan won the title from Kevin Nash not too long ago, but did lose it back to him very recently. He gets another shot at the title if he can win the four-way Fatal 4-Way later tonight. And the other men in that match will be Paul Wright, the Giant. As we see, huge suplex by Hall. We have also Bret Hart and Diamond Dallas Page in those matchup. As we see a armbar and another counter once again. Headlock by Hall. Getting countered once again between these two combatants. These two combatants know each other quite well. Hall competed in N.W.O for quite some time. Defected with Kevin Nash into the Wolf Pack, which is basically the two of them along with a few others like Lex Luger and Conan. Lex Luger will be also competing later tonight, as we see a huge drop kick all the way across the ring from Macho Man Randy Savage. He went coast to coast on that one, getting his legs right into the super abdominal area of Scott Hall, as Scott Hall was able to counter quite quickly out of that corner. It didn't do a huge amount of damage, it seems, at this time, as he gets a headlock onto Macho Man. We'll be seeing Lex Luger in our next match, a triple threat submission only match between three members of the Four Horsemen. Headlock from Hall, gonna do a nice armbar, trying to hurt the arm there. Belly to belly suplex from Hall, using that power strength out of the smaller guy to flip Macho Man over his shoulders with that beautiful suplex. Hall with a huge elbow to the gut of Randy Savage. Randy Savage countering. Getting a headlock onto Hall and doing a nice move to send Hall down to the mat, sending his face into that mat. Savage taking a little bit of time walking back into that corner, but gets countered by Hall. Hall puts him in the corner now, misses that running maneuver, and takes a break over on the other side of the ring. Tie up now between the two combatants once again. Headlocked by Savage, as he gets a headlock takedown onto Hall, taking him down to the mat. The question is, how will the former and the current heavyweight champions interact in this matchup as we see a huge flapjack, one-legged flapjack by Macho Man Randy Savage. And another nice snap suplex by Savage to Hall. Headlock. Hall able to counter and now send Macho Man around the ring. But Macho Man with a jawbreaker onto Hall, setting him down to the mat with that nice counter. Series of maneuvers sends Hall forward into the ring. Headlock by Hall sends Macho Man down to the mat. Now Kevin Nash has done quite well. He's won the Royal Rumble. He did fairly well in the championship Armageddon match. As we see a series of elbows from Scott Hall to Randy Savage. Hulk Hogan did fairly well as well. He did very well in the Royal Rumble, even though he drew a very bad number. And was able to actually get the title from Nash a week after he won it, as Macho Man does a series of stomps, and he's going to go up to the top rope again. You can see it a bit farther away now. They get a couple of camera angles as he goes coast to coast, doing a nice dropkick into that gut once again, trying to hit the abdominal area of Scott Hall. Headlock by Savage as he does a nice side suplex, sending Hall down to the mat once again. Now Hall has had a very nice Raven's Rules match against Raven himself earlier, as he does a nice counter to get out of that corner. But he gets sent into it once again by Randy Savage. Randy Savage is going to turn him around and do a nice splash. Hall able to dodge out of the way. Savage did not hit anything on that splash. Hall unfortunately lost the Raven's Rules match, and we'll be seeing another one later tonight where Raven faces Goldberg. Extreme Rules, of course, as we see a nice stretching the neck and the chest of Macho Man Randy Savage is Hall. Hall with an armbar. Going to do a nice headbutt to Savage here. Turns him over. Savage able to trip him up. What's Savage going to look for here? Does a nice suplex here. He's got him up. He's holding him up. Almost like a suplex pile driver. Luger running into the ring. Luger looks like he wants to interrupt this matchup. He's going to be in the match later tonight, the submission-only matchup. Question is, who's he's going to align with here? As Hall taunts the crowd, tries to get them riled up here. Series of punches to the face of Savage. Savage able to counter with a famouser, sending Hall's face down to the mat. Luger trying to get the ref's attention. Hall on the outside here. Hogan prowling. We see get an attack by Hogan. He is a manager here, not an interference. As you see, attack from behind from Hall. The ref did not notice Hogan attacking Hall as Hall now gets put up on the table here, right in front of our announce table. And we might see a huge elbow all the way from the top rope. Oh my God, he just went through the announce table all the way from the outside, destroying Scott Hall in the process. Hulk Hogan looking by, making sure Luger or Nash, neither of them, decide to interrupt in this matchup for that huge elbow drop all the way from the top rope to the outside. Hall looking to get more of Savage here. Savage dodging out of the way of that huge elbow. Looks like Savage has someone else targeted here. And now Hall pushing away Hogan, and Luger sending Macho Man over those steel steps. This could become almost pandemonium out here. Not quite yet, as Wolfpack are trying to beat up on the N.W.O here. Now the N.W.O will be having to defend their tag team titles later tonight against Raven's flock of Kidman and Saturn. We have a nice scoop slam by Scott Hall. Scott Hall with a series of elbows now to the shoulders of Savage as Savage gets knocked down to the mat. Savage able to push away now, but a tilt-a-whirl slam by Hall, countering the aggression of Savage with a series of elbows. A couple of elbows and a knee to the gut. We get a nice side suplex once again by Randy Savage as Luger is trying to distract on the side here. Macho Man is trying to get Luger off of the ropes, and he's distracting his time as Hall gets to rest in the middle of the ring and avoid a pin count. Headlock by Savage turns into a nice amateur wrestling maneuver to get him down to the ground as he whips Hall against the corner here. He runs around the ring. Take a little breather. Is Savage. Savage with an armbar now on Hall. Headlock. Going to slam his face against the mat now. Once again. Busting open Scott Hall. You can see the blood on his face there as he gets whipped around this ring some more. Now into that corner. Huge back elbow from Hall. And a huge... He used both arms, a forearm strike there against the face of Macho Man Randy Savage. Couple of punches from the brawler Hall. Tilt-a-roll slam once again by Hall, countering that jump that Macho Man tried to do. Macho Man tried to go for a big splash onto Hall, but Hall was able to counter into that tilt-a-roll slam. Belly-to-belly suplex from Hall sends him into the ropes. Headlock from Savage. Gonna send Hall into the corner here. Ref dodging out of the way. Savage gonna put him up in a N.W.O in the corner. He's got his legs tied up there. And a punch to the legs. And a punch to the abdominals. And a nice elbow to the back by Savage. Black and White are gonna win this match. There's a slam. Once again slamming that face of Hall into the mat. And a huge flip over the top rope. Springboard maneuver. Gonna go for the pin now. 1, 2. I think Nash interrupted there. The ref getting distracted by Nash. Ending the count. As he got a headlock from Savage once again. Slamming the face of Hall down against the mat once again. That maneuver being heavily favored by Savage here. Got him up. But Savage able to counter into reverse DDT. Sending him down to the mat. Will Hall go for a pin? No. He gets stripped up by Savage. And an enziguri to the back of the head by Savage. Savage picking up Hall now. Gonna pick him up for a lazy fisherman suplex is what I'm gonna call that. As he drags Hall into the middle of the ring, going for another pin here. 1, 2. No. It seems that Luger has left the arena here as you see a huge belly-to-belly suplex by Hall. Countering quickly. Telling Macho Man to suck it. As he gets a nice kick to the crotch. Macho Man with an elbow into the corner. Could have sent him down to the mat. Going up to the top rope for that huge elbow from the top rope into the middle of that gut. He's surely finished now. Finishing maneuver with a huge flying elbow by Savage. 2, 3. Savage wins this opening matchup.